We've created under different names, different channels, and different projects.
But now it's time to bring it all together.
We're brothers from the leeward side of Oahu, Japanese and African American, local and global.
And together, we're announcing our new name.
Brotherly Time. Two brothers making room for stories that matter. Room to move, room to breathe, room to tell stories our way.
That's what this brand is about, creating space for culture, creativity, and conversation.
Not just our voices, but voices that matter.
From Hawaii
to the world, you know what time it is. 24 months ago, my guest came to this studio and we did part 1. Today he's back for part 2. And 24 months is a long time in real life. But in the world of AI, 24 months is an eternity. Your favorite AI expert's favorite AI expert doesn't know what's going to happen in 24 days, 24 hours from now. That's how quickly this industry is changing. And today's guest is a visionary at the forefront of all of this change. We're going to go over some personal changes that happened in the last 24 months as well. During part 1, he had an Instagram following of around 80,000, and he was just about to get to 100,000. He was known as the guy who makes cool AI dance videos. He was transitioning from freelancing to full-time AI artist, AI visionary with some of the biggest companies out there. Today, here for part 2, my guy got 463,000 followers on Instagram. He does way more than just dance videos. For those of you watching this, you're seeing examples of exactly the kind of work that he does. Also, he's done something that a lot of people who gain momentum on short form platforms like Instagram and TikTok cannot do or struggle with, and that is build out a long format arm on YouTube. He does that. He got 12,000 subs as of today. And when I say long format, I think yesterday's live was like 5 hours. No gatekeeping at all. Step 1 to done. He shows you how he does it. He is the AI tool guru guy to watch, to follow on YouTube. He has a Patreon with over 500 members. He's got an X account with over 3,000 followers. This guy is showing massive growth. If you don't know him already, now you do. Today, before that, one small personal change on my end is the project that I'm doing with my brother Taisei. We started making a lot of content as well. And so I want to get into that. We have Taisei in studio today. He's going to ask our guest some prepared questions in the second half. So with that said, welcome back for part 2, Tyler.
So stoked to be back here.
Bro.
So stoked to be back here. I've been looking forward to this. And this is, I'm looking forward to reflecting on, everything. It's been a crazy 2 years.
Dude, and we say 2 years now, but it feels like that. And I want to get into how quickly things change. But first, how you feeling right now, man?
I feel good, man. I feel good. I have held a steady full-time job in AI for the past 2 years now. I'm on my 3rd AI startup. I have made the hurdle into monetizing my personal content in a way that I feel good about, which is why it took me so long, because I see a lot of quick cash grabs going on everywhere, and I didn't want to do that. So everything, the trajectory is up right now, and it feels really good, and it almost feels weird to think about knowing how much pressure was on me right before all the AI stuff started 2 years ago, and where I was trying to figure out what am I doing with my camera.
And nowadays, you don't even need a camera.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. My camera stays on a tripod pointed at my computer desk, and I don't think I've taken that out of the house or changed to any one of my 12 other lenses in
I see it in the background
years.
where you stream. I see all the lenses, and I'm like,
But I tell you what, those were not wasted investments, because when I stream now, people see that, and when I get on Zoom calls with music artists or managers or other influencers or companies, people see my background, they're like, oh shit, this guy's serious.
No, it definitely gives. I'm a serious guy. I have the tech, I have the tools. Not to mention, I forgot to mention, just quick list. This guy has worked. Tyler has worked with Will Smith, Anyma three times. Grimes, his work has been shown at Coachella. He's collabed with Meta. He's helped Raekwon make a freaking music video.
Just literally did the Raekwon Bear Hill music video off of his new album, The Emperor's New Clothes, which is, I'm super proud of that one.
And shout out to Gertie Does It. Gertie got it.
Gertie got it. My man, Gertie.
I watched that stream, which, by the way, you got to watch the stream. Like, a lot of people think what he does or other AI artists is just make one prompt and then boom, this thing pops up. It is not that. And one of the streams that I watched was with Gertie Does It. Gertie.
So he has alt accounts, but his main account that has like the almost 2 million followers is Gertie Got It. He originally went viral for the dancing Greek statue videos.
Yep. Like it's like a white marble.
Yeah, he hit that button at the right time and he blew up and got ahead of all this stuff. And him and I have been really close collaborators just like consistently over the past 2 years.
You know, one thing I liked about that stream was the actual artistic direction that we normally would attribute to like a director. But we don't know, not off the bat, you give that kind of credence or like credibility to an AI artist, quote, AI artist. But AI artists are creatives just like directors and are making directorial decisions and scenes and thinking about narratives beyond just cool prompt engineering. Mm-hmm. And so I do want to dig into this whole, there's a bunch of hate out there, you know, more than anyone.
Bro.
There's a bunch of hate towards AI. Mm-hmm. I mean, should we just freaking jump into that real quick? Or?
Yeah, man. Well, let me tell you, once my account started getting above like that 100K mark and I started transitioning from things outside of just the dance video realm, it is staggering. And I think most people would not believe me when I tell them how many DMs I get telling me to kill myself because I make AI videos.
Time out.
Like quite literally.
People saying kill yourself.
Yeah.
Because you made something using AI.
Bro, so I get DMs like that just consistently throughout the year. Especially when I have a video go like viral, like say above 1 million views, those DMs start rolling in. I had one post go little viral for me on Twitter, got like 700,000 views on Twitter. And it was just, I took my phone and I recorded a day in the life of me just like working out, whatever. And I made all these little AI edits throughout the way. And I opened the video up with a little bit of rage bait. Okay. The first line of the video was, "Yo, I'm an AI artist. Don't believe me? Ask your mama." That was the very first line of the video. But so
asking for it a little.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. But I did not expect that to get 700,000 views on Twitter. And on Twitter, they held me. They burned me at the stake, bro. They burned me at the stake. Fitness Twitter influencers were commenting and saying, "How dare you perpetuate the fitness community mixed with this garbage AI, non-artistic. I hope people don't think fitness people are into this." Like, bro,
the fitness people came after you?
A handful of them. And it's like, you know, getting to where I have gotten over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
If nothing else, has showed me how important it is to just do what you do and give no credence to what anyone else thinks, unless you fucked up and you have something to apologize for.
Have you ever apologized?
Fuck no. No. I make the stuff that I am interested in.
Period.
I made a video of a jade Buddha statue twerking to like it wasn't me at some point when I was still doing the dance videos. Yeah. And that one ended up getting like 300,000 something views. And I think that one I lost like 5,000 followers when I posted that, but I think I gained like 10 or 15.
Well, okay, what was the biggest dent like that you've seen a drop in followers? Was it that?
No, it was from my most viral video that I've posted to date. the one shot of the girl eating the snake out of the ramen bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pinned at the top of my page. That one got 114 million views on Instagram.
In what time span?
That was, let's say, a month.
In a month.
It like
damn.
It went viral, and then it died down, and then it just like a week or two later sprinted.
And because of that, what people, I'm not fucking with this guy.
So and I don't want to get too far ahead of the conversation here, but after the dancing videos, I was starting to transition out of that.
Yeah.
I've been through a handful of trends that I very much helped start and push forward at this point, with the one after the dancing videos being the dancing food.
Yes, I remember the food, yep.
Where I was very, I made a bunch of great connections throughout the pole dance community. Shout out to all the girls I worked with doing that, because they were the main subjects of the syrup or the ice cream or the whatever it was that was pouring on the food. They were dancing on the pole of it. But I did that for about 6 months, just that kind of content, and had a massive raise in following. And at that time, the interesting part was my following at its peak during that, which is what got me over like, over the 100,000s into like the 200,000s and stuff like that. My following blew up to more than 50% women from the dancing food videos, which I think is an interesting data point.
Right? So you're looking at the analytics just like everyone else.
Oh, you have to.
Are you then looking at that, and that influences your next decision?
Certain points of it influence my next decision. The main one being, what will get people to watch past the first 3 seconds? And is this going to make them feel some type of emotion enough to share it? Either they're going to love it that much, they're going to find it that funny, or are they going to hate it enough that they will share it and tell people how much they hate it?
Everyone got a group DM of like that hate. Like, look at this. And I remember you sharing on your stories one time about that, where the one most important analytic that you look at is shareability. Mm-hmm. Like when you're making anything, you're thinking not is someone going to watch it. Well, I mean, you're thinking these things, but the most important one is how likely is this person to share it, to send it, to save it. I don't know about saves, but
it's the share. It used to be saves, but the share and the watch time are the two most important metrics currently in like this version of the Instagram algorithm. Cause like and I can tell when people like a video or when it's just like a novelty, because there will be more shares than likes, but they're not public repost, which means they're sending it to friends, they're sending it in group DMs, they're sending it to family or whatever.
Damn. So dancing on a pole took your audience to like half women. So we see the impact of another genre, because dancing videos, and it's like food dancing / like, tell me about the evolution from, let's just say 50,000 up to where you're at like now 500,000. Like,
I'm making the push to 500,000, but 460, I'm kind of hitting the wall at 460 right now.
Really?
But yeah, we can talk about that too. But so it's been 2 years since I've been here. Mm-hmm. During that time when I first came to talk to you, I was just transitioning from the very first AI tool that got me into it, called Warp Fusion, which I explained on the first podcast, into the second tool called Animate Diff, which operates in this open source node-based thing called Comfy UI, which I explained on the first one too. With Animate Diff, after I left here, I was trying to figure out what more can I do with this thing. And I noticed that in the AI art niche, there's a really bad case of shiny toy syndrome. And you see it, all the announcements, things coming out constantly. No one was sitting in a workflow long enough to really find the true potential in each one. And I had created my workflow, and I dug my heels in the ground. And while everyone else is playing with the new shiny thing, I'm like, no, I know this can do more right now. And I started bringing in all kinds of different After Effects things. masking, rotoscoping, layering.
Yeah.
And I would literally take a video of a girl dancing on a pole, rotoscope her and the pole out, which was always very annoying, getting the pole cut out in After Effects.
Yeah.
And then I would generate an image of the food that I want, because it had to be a certain type of like top-down perspective for it to work on the video. And then I just like, I would place the girl on that image in After Effects and get it all situated. So there was always something pouring, like syrup on the pancakes, which was the viral one.
Yeah.
And then I would run that through the thing, and I would give it reference images of like gooey syrup, and the background reference image was the same image I used. And it just, I was shocked the first time I saw it, and it worked, because I was like, I have this idea, I'm going to try it. This is probably going to be bullshit. And it worked, and I thought it was hilarious. And then I was like, I was trying to figure out, what song do I put on this? And this was the pancake one with the maple syrup.
Yeah.
And this one got 40 million views, and I put on the Usher song, you know, 7 o'clock, and bro, that video made that song go trending at that time on Instagram.
Damn. That's crazy that you can like make that kind of impact with, I call it art, and I'll die on that hill. I call it art. I'm surprised to hear that most of the hate, kill yourself DMs came from fitness.
Well,
But
that was on Twitter.
Artists.
That was on Twitter. On Instagram, it comes from it when I actually go look at their profiles, because I look at their profiles. You know, I'm not immune to not letting these all these little stones that get thrown at me chink my armor every now and then. If anyone tells you they are, they're full of shit. Yeah. It is mostly coming from and I don't say this in a malicious way, but people whose life I would not trade for my own in a heartbeat. 2, people who are clearly trying to do traditional art in some way or form, and they clearly haven't found their success in it yet.
Gotcha.
Or they're still very new. And they're looking at the AI stuff, and they're frightened, because here they are starting this endeavor, which is, I'm not knocking it. Picking up a pencil was never for me, though.
Right.
I never had the urge to do that.
Got it.
But they see what's happening with AI now, and they're like, what's the point?
Yeah, and I think what you're getting at is the craft. People see it as a shortcut or a cheat code, and if someone is picking up charcoal or pencil and they see you achieve a similar, if not better, result, especially with the kind of impact and exposure that you get, I see how that could crush a lot of egos, and that can make people question, you know, do I continue this? It's kind of like university in a sense. Like, do I need to go to university to learn when there's people on YouTube? Right?
Bro,
So,
I went from feeling like my life is forever, like I was all, and this is years ago, right? A feeling I had within myself years ago I remember this very vividly, of feeling like I'm only ever going to hit a certain level in my life because I didn't go to college, because of the hand I was dealt and things I was specifically going through, because my dad passed away right after I graduated high school. And so all plans got you know, just blah. And even if I went, I had no idea what I would try to go to college for. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. And so after my 13 years of doing the Jamba Juice thing, right, my first job, I didn't know what the ceiling was for me, but I definitely thought it was pretty low. And on top of that, bro, I've had a couple you know, long-term relationships in the past where the common thing that kind of like brought what were otherwise good relationships to an end was the girl's family thought that I was a bad fit or a bad choice because I did not have a college degree, and they didn't see someone like me achieving the type of success they deemed worthy of their daughter. And that's also a feeling that I carry very vividly with me, so I can chuckle every time I happen to bump into them.
And you do.
Under my breath, with zero acknowledgement.
Is that a cultural thing?
I will say too that these couple girls I'm referring to also, yes, I was very outside of their family's culture.
Gotcha. So as far as university and learning, education at large, we know that not just AI, but that too has changed as far as it's almost like a democratization
of education,
information, as well as art. That's why I think people who use AI to do art aren't necessarily stealing from the craftsmen and women out there doing art.
I can acknowledge that the way that these AI models were trained, because let's be real, Pinterest was scraped. The whole goddamn internet was scraped to make the first thing and to make these things. I can acknowledge that should have probably been done in a much, just whatever the other way was. I can acknowledge that.
Yeah.
What I can also acknowledge, because I'm a realist, is that here we are. And you either have to compete, or if you're not going to compete, you got to build something and you got to figure it out. And I am competing.
What do you say to the originality aspect as far as how much of what you make is actually original?
Yeah. So now that I've been doing this, so let's say I use these tools for hours on end every day. There is not a day where I do not at some point sit down at my computer, and whether it's just like generating images or God knows, ChatGPT and Claude are my two best friends. There is not a moment I'm doing something on my computer or in my phone where I do not have one of those apps open and helping me do something. I have worked with these tools enough that I know, and I have found multiple ways to push original outputs out of them. A lot of people don't make it past the surface.
Can you give an example of like surface level and how you've found some depth?
Yeah, so surface level is just typing in the prompt. The best surface level example I could give is when the ChatGPT image generator came out and the internet just ran Ghibli into the ground.
yeah. Guilty. No,
We all got a Ghibli photo of ourselves and our friends and probably our family. Like we all do now. But that right there, perfect example. Here, so there, you see on YouTube all the time, right? The thumbnails, everything just changed. Nothing will ever be the same. If a video is telling me that, I probably am not going to watch it. Because I hate that line. But there have been two specific moments in AI that have made me feel that way, to a point where I needed to actually take a day away from my computer and think about what it meant for me. One of those was when that ChatGPT image generator came out. I don't think people understand still exactly how good or how powerful that thing is. And same thing with Midjourney, but Midjourney doesn't like following your prompts exactly the way that ChatGPT does. So ChatGPT is like the one you go to for precision, and Midjourney is the one you go to for your creative edge and for your stylization. And you can use them both in unison to push out original work. And the original work too comes from mashing together multiple reference images along with your prompt, along with training it on like other things you're interested in. And you can go down rabbit holes and come out with things that feel uniquely yours, that if any person saw them, they could call you an AI art thief and tell you ask them, who'd I steal this from? Tell me what artist this looks like, and they won't be able to tell you because it doesn't.
So when you say references, that's where I think a lot of the ethical issues are. Because the Ghibli one is a perfect example. Like there was a time when if you put like Ghibli, it'll come back with a response like, we can't do that, basically. Like Disney, we can't do that, right? Like Marvel, you can't. But then you find ways, euphemisms, ways to kind of get around that as one point, or just a reference image. And so that reference, if I'm taking something that has IP of someone else, that process is where and I'm not even an AI artist, but people have kind of come at me with this angle. And I found myself like not agreeing with them, but also I was like, I can't convince, it's not even my job to try and convince someone else of something that I believe. But for you, you know where I'm going.
I'll pose this question to you. At what point is an output transformative enough, even if it used a reference, to deem it not IP infringement? In my eyes, and I'm pretty sure in the way that copyright law works too, it like as long as you take the IP and it is deemed transformative,
yes,
then it's fair game.
Just like how there's review channels out there on YouTube, they're transforming the music video, the song, by adding their own commentary. That makes it such that they can be monetized.
How many YouTubers have built these crazy salaries off of the back of other people's content? It's literally not different. They have, if YouTube can look at their videos and deem that their video was transformative enough beyond the original video, they will pay them.
Yes. And we see that in people making careers out of reviewing. I mean, it was to me at the forefront last year during the K-Dot Drake beat. You saw how many, like, that was a huge tidal wave of content that all the reviewers were eating off of.
Oh, they were eating good off that too.
Right?
Yeah.
And part of me was like, great, good move on, Kendrick's side for taking off the limitations on the reuse such that people could monetize and talk about it. That was amazing. But at the same time, I thought about all the reviewers themselves and how they look at it much like a gold rush, in a sense of, I can talk about this and I know it's going to perform, and it's going to translate into money in my YouTube AdSense account. That is a form of Robin Hood in a way to me.
Yep, they're eating off the rich. Don't no one got to talk about this? Everyone's going to listen to it?
It's almost a guaranteed performer, 1 out of 10 on your YouTube.
Yep.
So, I mean, okay, thank you for that sort of clarification on originality as well as transformative nature. I did prepare some questions.
Yeah,
please. We
kind
of got off
yeah.
The spicy stuff. Because this is part 2, I kind of want to bridge the gap, what happened in 24 months in the industry, but also for you. So last time you were on, you did say that this AI wave was something as big as the internet, basically. Has that changed at all, and if so, how?
I saw a really great video on Instagram a couple days ago that I think articulated perfectly. Unfortunately, I can't remember what the guy's account name was, but he basically went through and talked about every major turning point in human evolution. And it was things like, the Industrial Revolution and stuff like that. And the first one for our generation was the birth of the internet.
Yeah.
I think we might be the first generation to, one, and when I say we, I mean like us beyond our 30s.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to be the generation that remembers what it was like before the internet. We were there for the birth of the internet. We grew up using the internet and had to learn how to whatever. And this human evolution curve, if we look at it like any other trend, we're seeing it get more steeper as it goes.
We're in the banana zone.
Because what we're in with AI right now is just as big, if not bigger, than what it was when the internet happened.
So there's implications to that, right? Because the point of singularity and all of that, this moment where we lose control, we can't turn off and all. Are there any fears in your heart about that?
I have had to do self-work to regulate myself and make sure that I take time away from things as I need and that I don't get stuck doom scrolling. And I do things to regulate how I consume things, because it is very easy to let that get out of hand. And I recognize that a lot of people probably, I'm going to be honest, if we look at the population as a whole, I think more people than not don't have that discipline or don't look at it.
You're talking about consumption, right?
Consumption, discipline, it's to me, it's all one and the same at this point. Like if I can't be disciplined in other areas of my life, how am I going to be disciplined with when to put my phone down?
That's probably linked into your physical nature. I mean,
Boys
working out, deadlifting 300 plus. I see you, man. And I think, I mean, this is my outside view, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like having that kind of pillar of physical stress and a schedule to empty that out requires discipline. Nobody wants to go to the gym and work out and sweat and drive there and all that. Like, you don't want to, but you do it for after. And the long-term effects. And I think overall, what you're talking about is the short-term, quick dopamine satisfaction that we're all addicted to. So to go long-term in something like working out, fitness, because you don't see the gains today or tomorrow or next week. This is like long-term.
Yep.
But all of our focus is so short-term, instant now. You have to connect to a long-term goal somehow. And for me too, physicality is one of them. Having sprained or torn my Achilles last year, it really came top of mind of like the physical nature and how that affects my performance when I'm on my computer, editing, shooting. It's a weird thing that it might seem unrelated, but having done it, I'm more productive, I'm more creative if I'm regularly sweating, working out.
My best ideas don't come to me when I'm searching for them. They come to me when I'm engaged in something else that takes my mind completely away from it. And then, this is going to sound really, really kind of corny, because I feel like every creative person uses this as an example, but that Rick Rubin book is dope.
Oh, that's not corny, bro.
What he says about just like, you just have to be the conduit.
Yeah.
And you just have to like let the thing, it almost sounds difficult to like really talk about how to just like let it come to you, because and this is good for me to say out loud, because we often have to remind ourselves of things we already know, but sometimes you just like, you have to let go.
Yes.
And I find that when I go on a run and when I'm in the gym and when I'm very engaged and my brain is on the current task at hand, which has nothing to do with my creative work, suddenly it'll just be like,
there it is.
Yeah. Just real quick, jot that down on the phone, back to work.
So you let go of it. And that's the hard part. We're going against the stream, the current of these big platforms with unlimited, essentially, resources to keep us busy, keep us occupied, so we can't let go. It's easy to not let go of the feed, of that post.
What I try to preach to the people in my Patreon and my Discord and the people that come to my stream on Friday nights is, if you're like, try to make the majority of your scrolling time where you're actively curating for yourself and not just scrolling. So
curating for yourself, meaning, how do you curate, for example, an Instagram feed? Do you say, don't show me this? Because I've done that for like inappropriate things. What do you mean by curating?
So I'll scroll for like 10 or 15 minutes and I'll save the stuff that I really like. But when I say curate, I'm usually spending more of that scrolling time. There's this website I really love called Cosmos. I don't know if you guys, it's cosmos.so. They don't sponsor me. I'm not paid for it, but I fucking love this thing. It's like Pinterest for just like very design-minded adults. And it's where I curate all my mood boards. And the dope thing about it is, after you join the site, they've put a little plugin in your browser. And no matter where you are on the internet or even on your phone, on Instagram, you can you can, a little button gets added that says like add to your Cosmos, and then it comes up and asks you which one of your mood boards you want to add this to.
Gotcha.
So I am constantly like my Cosmos, and I give everyone my Cosmos address so they can see the stuff I'm curating and I'm looking at. But like I'm just constantly adding to my mood boards, and those have been responsible for so much of my best performing content.
Is it the act of saving to this Cosmos mood board that kind of satiates you, or is it and how often do you visit the mood boards?
The mood board is always open in a browser
At your workstation?
on my monitor. Okay. Because I also just really like the way their website looks and the way they present everything. And it's very aesthetically pleasing. And just having that open and constantly there to kind of like glance over and look at it, like it sounds weird, but as I'm going through my day and I get caught up in a lot of brain rot stuff as I'm searching for what to do for Instagram. It kind of anchors me.
Gotcha.
Because nothing on there is brain rot for me.
I do have a long list of scrollable albums on Instagram. So in app, you know how you can save to albums and stuff. And I found that I don't revisit them enough because I'm like, wait, just saving it to a certain thing, and I don't think that's enough.
I do that too. I never revisit the stuff I save on Instagram. Yeah.
So this is a good little hack for productivity, I think. So thanks for that. We kind of touched on it already, but this is an example of you said curating, but I think the word I was going to ask is restrain or constrain. What other ways, because AI is so powerful and too much power like can corrupt, it can also elevate, but what kind of ways do you sort of police yourself when it comes to this fast moving world?
When you say police myself, what do you...
you want to. Like, for example, scrolling. You gave us an example. You curate instead of just doom scroll. You're kind of self-regulating yourself, even though you know something's...
I think the easy answer there is that, and we see this across the apps with everyone that uses AI to create too. When you have a tool that gives you essentially unlimited possibilities, GPT, Midjourney, just anything... You need too many possibilities will eventually paralyze you. And you need to be able to put restraints on yourself to focus your energy into a direction. Like right now, I was feeling very all over the place these past couple of weeks because I was just experimenting with all kinds of things, and I was feeling a little like haphazard. So right now I'm doing like 30 days of 30 grills. I'm bringing it back to one of my main things.
That's what you did to get to 10K, right? Like you did like a 30-day.
Well, here's the thing. I told you the first time that my posting schedule was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But if when I would get something that hit, my foot would go on the gas and I would try to post 5 to 7 days a week. I've been posting 7 days a week for the past year and a half.
I know. I was like, you're not taking your foot off the pedal at all.
But that's also the double-edged sword to all this is once you get to a certain point, you feel like if you don't keep your foot on the gas, everyone's going to pass you. And it's almost kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy because then you like do that and then you burn yourself out and then you need to take the break and then people pass. It's just like it, but I think putting the artificial restraints on yourself and giving yourself boundaries to work in for maybe like a week at a time or 4 weeks at a time can keep you grounded enough within one idea that will allow you to sustain your output for much longer and also force you to find ways to be more creative within those boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, that was in the Rick Rubin book as well. There's a part on that, and that was a great book. What? Last time I think it was Blender, but today, what's the one tool that you just keep banging your head against the wall, like giving you the most headaches?
Throughout over the 2 years, so I haven't even tried to revisit Blender. That's now it's like, if I'm going to dump my time into learning something new, I need to know that it's actually going to be worth my time. Like that there's a payoff at the end of it. I tried to get into Touch Designer, which is like a real-time rendering multimedia platform. Again, node-based, again, very mathematical and complicated. It's not clicking, bro, not clicking. But also, too, I didn't have a strong use case for it. The current mountain I'm trying to climb right now is I am getting into vibe coding.
Vibe coding.
Yes.
What's that?
So, you know, I don't know how to code. I don't have a computer science degree, but we have unlimited access to to Claude and ChatGPT. And so I started building. I've never found a fitness app to track my workouts that I like.
Okay.
And even right now, I can show it to you on my phone. I'm using an Excel spreadsheet from in my early 20s that I had set up to like, that I take with me, and I open up the spreadsheet on my phone, and I'm just like entering the numbers in the Excel sheet in the gym. And it dawned on me like a week ago, I was like, this feels like something I should be using AI for right now. But again, any workout tracker app I've ever downloaded, I've never either liked the aesthetic or it was missing like some core thing for the way I like to keep track of my workouts. So I took my Excel spreadsheet, which was set up with all the stuff that I want the tracker to do. I fed that to Claude. I had a friend who was a programmer who hooked me up with a system prompt. He's like, before you start doing this, give it this prompt. That way Claude asks you all the questions up front that you don't even know you want to answer, so that you don't get caught with something on the back end of building this thing. And I spent a day, made a roadmap with Claude, asked it to turn the roadmap into something I could feed to the vibe coding platform I'm using called Replit. Claude gave me that document. I gave that document to Replit. I explained to it and gave it examples of the aesthetic I want it to look like. And I already have like a fleshed out thing that I'm now just going in and learning how to talk to it better to refine parts.
You just built an app
Yeah, my own fitness app for myself.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think building apps is a reason, not reasonable, whatever I'm thinking? Like, it's possible. I know it's possible, but like, what's the benefit for you of building your own apps or anyone else with the tools that we got today?
There is a new, the new landscape of AI, and the wave that's happening right now are these things called agents,
Yes.
right? Where you give essentially an LLM tools and access to things on your computer and passwords and stuff. And it can go off and it can do things on your computer, and it can log into accounts, and it can do stuff on the internet for you with your permissions, and just like do it all.
Like if you hire someone to do it.
I recognize that agents are the direction everything is going to go. And while I'm very good at this creative side of AI, I need to sharpen my sword at this very technical side of talking to these things, not for image outputs, but for
Workflows.
logic and workflows and stuff like that. And so that is my biggest focus outside of everything everyone publicly sees me doing.
You know what? N8N, stuff like MCPs.
Yes. Yes.
I went down that rabbit hole, bro. Believe me. And I was like, this is, again, it's creative in its own way, in its own tech bro way. It's very creative if you think about it, because it's so robust. Like, you can build what you need for your workflow.
Building those things are art.
And I was like, there's whole YouTube channels, again, education, right? It's out there. And I was like, this is literally like creating a company 15, 20 years ago where you would need a room full of people. But now it's here, given you have a fucking shitload of windows open. And I could see the benefit of having like multiple monitors at this point. But the idea of having this, first of all, it's like, for me, for video production, a lot of overlap with other forms of, I would say, tech bros, because I have a lot of files. I have like naming. I have a lot of subscriptions. I have all, you know what I'm saying?
You don't gotta tell me about subscriptions.
Yeah. I have all these, I have credits here. I need more credits there. It's connected to my business. Like, it's messy. And then what I saw was an opportunity to clear up that mess in much the same way that if I hired an assistant, if I had an executive assistant, but one that wasn't a human, that didn't have a sleep schedule and all of this, I was like, I see the light. And building that, I know that's a huge lift for me in my current state, but I see the value of having that. So whether it's a workout app that's custom tailored to you, or even just a file management system that's custom tailored to me, I'm like, that's where the use of this kind of AI.
And that's where it's going. Pretty soon we're going to be doing all of our creative work in LLMs too, and just talking to these things. And that's how creative work is going to be done. That's what I'm predicting for the next time we talk here.
He's predicting Jarvis. He's predicting Jarvis where you can just talk. I mean, I think the first time I saw that movie, what?
I downloaded this thing called Whisper Flow.
Okay.
And I think I paid $12 a month for it.
Yeah.
But it's a AI powered voice transcriber. So instead of even typing my prompts or typing anything anymore, holding a button, talking to my microphone, and what comes out after I release the button is a perfectly transcribed paragraph, totally formatted correctly with the correct punctuation. It's not just words.
Got it.
Everything is there. I'm not even typing my prompts anymore. So anyone that's like, oh, you're just writing. No, bro, I'm not even writing. I'm talking to it.
Well, I use the ChatGPT dictation all the time. And sometimes if it's long, I'll just use voice memos on my phone. And that has a transcribe in it. So I copy paste that. Because, like this or this.
It's a waste of time now. It's a waste of time now.
Dope. So how at this stage, by the way, I'll make a bold prediction too. You're going to see Tyler's work at the Super Bowl.
Oh, well,
bold prediction.
The place I want to get to, which I haven't quite found my thread there yet, is the Sphere.
Ooh,
I haven't found my thread there yet, but that is something I'm actively looking for. I have a few friends that have been on there, and they told me that it is a pain in the ass to make the thing that goes on there.
Well, because you're not in a rectangle.
Yeah, but that is, for me right now, that's like a really lofty goal.
Ooh, okay. I do want to get Ty on here to ask you some questions, but first, let me get through these ones. So, you define success as consistency and quality. 2 years later, has your definition of success changed?
Consistency, quality, and not wanting to shoot yourself for having to do what you do every day. That is like that, to me, the biggest marker of how well I've been able to navigate this for myself is that when I wake up and I have to get on my computer at 7 or 8 a.m. for the work meetings for the startup I work for, I'm not waking up and going, fuck, I have to get on this call. I'm waking up and I'm like stoked to jump on the call with these people, or I'm stoked for my Friday night streams. And I get excited when the people in my Discord or the people in my Patreon tell me like, hey, this thing just like was a game changer this week for me. And like people in my Discord are posting messages all the time now about how they like got their first like paid gig using something that I like showed them, or using one of the tools I provided for them or something. And that, to me, that's success.
You know, from outside looking in as a fan, I see you at the perfect cross section of AI, art, and business, making a living doing this. And that's a very specific piece of this Venn diagram, is the business part. I see you advocate for yourself in a way that I feel like I should do more myself. Not necessarily like salesy, pushy, but the way you advocate for yourself, your own value, how you communicate that, how other people see it as well, is top notch. So what kind of advice then can you give people who might not feel comfortable advocating for themselves when it's time to have that negotiation and you're talking about prices, you've been screwed over by someone else? Like, give us some insight from your point of view, where you are with the people the level, caliber of people you work with.
Well, let me just say, and I'm not gonna air anyone out here, but let's just say that I have made some big fumbles and I have been stepped on by people that had top 10 hits on radio stations at some point in our lives. And that does not feel good. But each one of those pitfalls was very important for me, realizing how to communicate and handle myself in the future. So for anyone, and a lot of people have a hard time with that, because I think it's easier now more than ever with where we are in social media for everyone to have some degree of imposter syndrome. It's easier than ever to feel like, oh, I'm not worth this much, whatever. What the advice I give to everyone, especially when it comes to negotiating your value and your prices, you have to sit down and you have to ask yourself, and you have to be realistic with where your skill level is and where you currently are. Okay, there is a certain amount of realism you have to have here. I'm not saying like you do have to have ridiculous belief in yourself that's dumbfounded, but you also have to be a realist for other people. Ask yourself, to do this work, how much money do I need to get paid to not hate doing this work the entire time I'm doing it? Because there's nothing worse than taking on a project and the entire time, once the project gets going, because no project ever goes as smooth as you think it's going to from the beginning or from the brief. Once that project gets going and you start feeling that scope creep in, you're like, fuck, I should have asked for this much more because this is not worth it. That is not a good feeling, and that will not produce a good output for your client, and then that is a scar on your reputation and all that kind of stuff. So ask yourself, one, how much do I need to get paid for this project to be okay working on it? And two, okay, I have that number. How do I reverse engineer that and justify it when the client tells me that costs too much? As long as we're all winging it here, bro. We're all winging it. If anyone tells you they're not winging it, they are full of it. We're all figuring it out. If you can justify your number, that's your number.
So what is, can you give us an example of time you had to justify yourself?
I haven't recently taken on any gigs that have like fought with me on my price, because now I'm able to push around the social cloud, and I've worked with so-and-so and all that kind of stuff a little bit. But, there was some recent product advertising stuff. And when we got into talking money, I basically told them, because everyone wants the budget up front, right? So I tell them, this is my day rate. So this is the cheapest it will be. Based on the complexity, that price can scale. So before I give you an approximate quote or an estimate that we will base this project on, I need you to be as detailed as possible and give me the brief of exactly what you want. I don't give anyone any quotes until I know exactly what they want, because everyone is too, like, companies, brands, marketing people, even the ones that you think are professional and you're stoked to work with the brand, sometimes they don't know what they want and they're super vague. You got to force them to tell you what they want to save yourself the headache, and so you can charge as much as you're worth for that.
So what's a typical pitch that you receive where it's unclear of what they want?
Bro, if it is unclear what they want, I tell them, you know what? Why don't you guys go have a meeting? It sounds like this phone call is just a little premature. And when you're ready, come back to me with a mood board of either like colors or subjects or characters or a vibe, just like something that shows me the direction you want to take this project. And when you guys have that, then more than happy.
A lot of times someone will just reach out to you, some marketing person will reach out, hey, we're interested in working with you, kind of glaze you up a bit.
One thing I want to say here, because I think it's super important, is that there is more power in saying no than there is in taking every opportunity that comes your way and always saying yes. Every time you say no to something that you know doesn't feel good to you, you get one more little infinity stone to put in your pocket. That's like there is power in saying no, because there have been multiple times in the earlier part of these past 2 years where I said yes to stuff just because it was going to be like a quick, like, you know, $3-4 grand or whatever, that it wasn't really a project I wanted to do. I knew they should have been paying me more, but I just said yes to it just because. And while I was working on those, projects I really wanted to do came along that I then had to say no to because I said yes to the things I didn't want to do. So you need to say no to make room for your yeses.
The opportunity cost is going to end up killing you, is what I'm hearing. So I got one more question for you before Ty jumps on here. If this all collapses, all goes to shit, there's no internet, there's no tech, this all ends tomorrow, what value would you still have?
That is a wonderful question. If it wasn't this, I can confidently say that I'm very good at taking extremely complicated things, digesting them, and then explaining them in layman's terms to people who are not good at digesting complicated things. At this point, I don't think it matters what that complicated thing is. As long as I have a little bit of time, I can do it. And so my value is in being the human mouthpiece to help people get the benefits of things that are just out of their reach, helping them see that things are more accessible to them than they think they are.
That's an evergreen service product right there. That'll always be in need. So thanks, man. We're going to get Taisei on here. He's got some questions for you.
Taisei from Taisei Discovers. This is pretty cool because, you know, this is the first time where I kind of manned the cameras a little bit and watched my brother do his thing. Tyler, I've been watching you for a while now, man, and I have seen the trajectory of your content and then also the quality and the complexity evolve through the last couple of years. So this is a treat for me to be able to kind of share this interview with my brother. This is also the first time that we've actually physically met.
Yes. It is a pleasure. I obviously always love the stuff that Kenji was doing before we met the first time, but I especially like the thoughtfulness and the way that you guys have taken the direction of all this, and especially the Ulapalakula thing you guys did, because I'm from Maui. That's the part of Maui I'm from.
No way.
I'm from Kula.
No way.
Like I lived all the way out by Kula Hospital, like boonies. I might not sound like it, but that's like, those are the people I grew up around. So that I watched all that content. It very much gave me the homie feeling.
Uncle Wendo,
Yeah.
You know, it's so crazy because I think there's a lot of parallels when it comes to what you're doing and what we're doing. We're creating content. We're entertaining people, right? On our side, you know, it's a lot more organic. It's more about conversation. It's about history. It's about education. But I happen to be really fascinated visually with what you're doing. I remember, I think one of the first things I seen was a dancing vegetable. And then I also started seeing like Spider-Man with the lean and stuff like that.
Bro, the anime characters with the grills and the lean were that is what really blew me open. It was the food, and then it was like, when I was starting to transition out of the dancing food stuff, I went through a couple weeks of like, okay, I don't want to make the dancing food anymore. I need to get out of that because that's all people want to see. I lost a bunch of followers because that's what they wanted to see. And I was just trying different things, different tools. And then I had trained a model to give the characters the grills like back in like December around my birthday. And it was just sitting there, and I hadn't used it until like April or May, and I made the first video of the Dragon Ball characters drinking the lean, and I used the 3-6 Mafia song "Sipping on Some Scissor." And if you grew up in hip hop in that time, you know what that song, how deeply embedded in kind of like the South that song is, and that video went crazy, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna run through all my favorite anime shows right now, and that was a whole movement in itself for me. It was a really fun time.
What would you say to the parents out there that have their kids glamorizing and glorifying their favorite anime characters sipping codeine?
I tell them it's grape juice.
Oh, okay.
I never actually say it's lean in any of the videos.
Yeah.
but no, let's be real. You know, a bunch of the videos have the characters drinking lean out of specifically white styrofoam cups. I make sure they're white styrofoam cups. Have them smoking vapes. There was a Bleach video where they were hitting the bong. I would say it's the internet.
Yeah.
Like it's the internet. Like I'm responsible for what I want to make and what I find entertaining. As a parent, you're responsible for what your child consumes. And if it's not me, if it's not the Goku drinking from the cup, it's going to be something else. Like the internet is a wild place now more than ever.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think you handled that well. It really does come down to a parent's discretion and how they are parenting their children, right? Their responsibility.
You hear the thing a couple months ago about the kid that committed, because they were talking to an AI chatbot on a platform called Character AI that they were like in love with, and they told the character that they wanted to like be with them, and the character said, "Well, come be with me then." And then the kid,
oh snap!
And the parents sued the platform.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I think those stories are going to be more and more common. I did see one of the top AI masterminds say that humans are going to be hiding from AI robots in 20 years or less.
So this is great. This is the way I feel about that is, and I'm not here to get into a political discussion, but look at what people are, bro. Like look at what people are right now. This is why now more than ever I am so grateful that I'm able to work from home and my girlfriend works from home, and we are able to kind of like regulate what comes into our life through the computer and all that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of good in humanity, but now more than ever, there is a lot of just like people off the deep end and a lot of hate and a lot of, it's just, I kind of want to see what happens when the robots handle it.
Well, in the beginning, humans will be controlling them. And then at some point, they might be controlling us or controlling themselves. I'm interested, but iRobot, they were not lying, bro. I do want to kind of address the artists that are doing more traditional methods. I know you and Kenji touched on it a little bit. For a lot of them, it's the fear of them losing control or not being able to build their own empire, because they're afraid that AI will outshadow them or outshine them. For thousands of years, transportation has evolved. The technology, it advances. We started on feet, then we started riding animals like horses, eventually adding carriages to the horses, and then the crank cars, and then the fossil fuel combustible engines. We're electric now. Now we're flying through space. I feel like art is like that as well. It started in the caves with the blood, right? With the ash and the charcoal, and then it evolves to palettes with acrylic, and then you have software programs now where people are using iPads to draw. And then where do you draw the line? I like the evolution. I also think that the ones that do traditional art are going to be more of a commodity in the future because there'll be less and less. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we see the same thing with digital film. Everything's so digital that now more and more people want to go back to things that feel analog. So it's all
cyclical.
It's all cyclical. It's all things come, trends come in, trends go out, and then it all comes back again. I don't think that human art is going to go anywhere, and I think that even more so with the amount of AI and computer generated stuff that's able to be pushed out now. That if anything, that should be driving the value of human art up more. I'm not one of these guys that thinks that like, hey, we're here, that we're coming to get you. No, this is the way I have found that helps me express myself and get the ideas in my head out. And that's different for everyone.
Because if it wasn't this, you wouldn't be painting on a wall.
No, I'd be running around with my camera and editing and doing stuff in After Effects.
Yeah, I like that. You know, I'm kind of also interested in, you have such a strong relationship with technology. How's your relationship with your human friends, your girlfriend, your parents?
Okay, well, me and my girlfriend are going on 8 years. 8 years, and she my relationship with my girlfriend is the easiest thing in my life, as I feel all relationships should be. My IRL friends, all of my friends that I used to dance with and all my dance partners, they moved away and they're doing things in other places. One of them is a firefighter in San Francisco. Another one is doing crypto stuff in Miami. All of my closest friends are no longer here. However, what AI has done is it brought a whole lot of great people into my life through the AI community and through things like Discord that I kick it with every night. And we all work on our projects in tandem with one another in voice channels and stuff. And now these are all people that, as I fly and go to AI conferences and stuff, I have IRL relationships with. And we're like actually friends now. But it's one of those things where, you know, not everyone can come along if they don't see the vision. And if you feel pulled towards something, you got to run towards it, and not like, if you got to cut people out, you got to cut people out. And I haven't cut anyone else out, but I've definitely had to reorganize my time and make sure I'm doing what is best for my future.
Got it. I'm also, I want to get to...
And also, my mom has no idea what, like, my mom knows what I do, and I send her like the Will Smith video and all, and like the Coachella, but she knows what I do, but you know, she doesn't know what ChatGPT is.
Oh, really? Oh. She's just like, oh, cool, son. Just another.
She's proud. She's proud of me, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. And she probably sees your passion and how pumped you are when you talk about it. The Will Smith one is big, bro. Doechii and Will Smith. When I saw that, at first I didn't know it was you, because I just came up on the feed and I was just watching. I was like, oh damn, AI is fucking banging. Like, dude, I can imagine that for the production company, that it's more efficient. It's higher impact. It's also maybe a little more cost effective than flying Will Smith out to do the video. And they have a little bit more artistic freedom when it comes to hiring somebody like you or commissioning somebody like you to do something like this. Am I correct?
Yeah. The great thing about Will Smith and his team is that a lot of times celebrities will ask influencers to do stuff for them, or like artists to do stuff for them, and then they'll just like tag you, or they won't collaborate with you, or sometimes they won't even credit you. Will Smith and his social team have built out a really great kind of thing that they do, where they find influencers that are popping off and trending, and they like specifically search for them to do stuff to directly collaborate with them and give them the credit and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
I mean, it works both ways. Now they get a new demographic, a new audience, right? And on Taisei Discovers, we see that as well, you know, with like Max Holloway and Tumua, and you know, we just had Logan Ryan from the 49ers last year. And you know, it's like what we're realizing is that when we go to these people that have large followings, and then we extract the information out and lift them up, then we're suddenly seen by a whole bunch of people that support these, and then it's almost like they're co-signing us. It's a beautiful ecosystem. When you understand, it's kind of interesting to navigate. You can make more intentional moves.
And yet a lot of people will still move through it like there is not enough room for everyone to eat.
Yeah. Well, the ones that work hard and understand will always eat. And I think that it's dope that you are doing everything you can to help others eat.
Okay, so this has been probably the largest area of personal growth for myself over the past 2 years, because there's always this battle within of like, how much of my sauce am I really actually comfortable giving away? Because at some point, am I just creating more marketplace competition for myself? And then I got to a point where I really started to feel like that was a toxic trait of myself, and I needed to let go of that. And then the more I let go, the more people came in, and it's more satisfying to see people succeed because of something you helped them with or you gave them than it is to hold that for yourself and get the next job.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man! I think that's the nug of the day right there, brother. That selfless act of helping to cultivate it in others, using your talents and the information that you have. It's like information is nothing if you hold it in, and you just get all stuck up. I do want to talk about Coachella, because I know that was a huge one for you. And when I saw it, those visuals, I'm a big music guy. I'm a big psychedelic guy. And, on actual psychedelics or not. Like when I saw what you created, there's a small tear that went down my cheek, because I indirectly knew you, and I know Kenji and you were really close, but I was like, to make it to a stage like that, for some people, they'd say that's the precipice. That's it. I've done it. I know the Sphere is another level, but how did Coachella make you feel?
So that was 2024 Coachella. And that would definitely be marked as like a major professional turning point for me. And that was the only thing that could have made that better is had I been there to actually see it on the screen myself. But they literally, they sent me the stuff I needed to work on Thursday night. The show was on Saturday. And this was a really large file to work with, and it was complicated, and there was a lot of moving pieces to it. So I didn't get that sent to them until Friday at like 4 a.m. Saturday morning.
Wow. So you probably didn't sleep.
No, that was, but then I stayed up, and my homies that I hang out in our little closed AI community Discord with, they were in Discord. They all watched the Coachella stream with me, and it was dope. It was a moment for me where it was almost unbelievable because of how much throughout my life, up until I found all the AI stuff, I can still feel the feeling of always feeling like I was right behind everyone. I was just too late. I was just a little too late for crypto. I was just a little too late for all these things. And this is the first time that I landed on the tip of the wave, and I've been able to navigate staying balanced on the front of it for so long. And that gives me a lot of pride, because for a while there, I was feeling like maybe I'm just not built to be a front runner in anything.
Wow. I got one more question for you, and it really has to do with using your platform and your talent and technology and AI to help the world. Because, it can be entertainment, it can be educational, it can be a lot of things. But how do you see what you do evolving into something that can help the world on a larger scale?
Ooh, that is a great question. I can't even tell you that that's something I think I've put any thought into. Like my thought currently is, how do I service my community? Getting bigger than that, that question I think is going to be answered by people with a lot more influence than me, with a lot more access to technology, that actually build these platforms, because that's what's going to really make the change. I'm not, I have my views on a lot of things going on in the world. And to me, my platform is not the place for that, because everything I do on social, even though it has turned into business for me, is where I go to. It's still very much how I internalize and deal with my own stuff and put it out into content, whether that's visible to people or not. And I am always at odds between making something just for the sake of going viral and making something that's thoughtful to me, because the thoughtful ones never perform well. But I try to just adopt the thought process of one for me, one for them, and multiply that over a long period of time. But yeah, man, aside from helping other people decipher the technology and hopefully make money while doing it, that's kind of where my heart is right now. There's no, I'm a little, I hate to say it, I'm a little cynical when it comes to like the broader scheme of humanity with the way things look in a lot of places right now.
I'd have to agree a little bit as well, but you know, it was a question and you answered it well. I just wanted to know who Tyler was and your position.
There's one more thing I'll say, and this is something that I've had ingrained in me for a really long time. And the first part is something I'm still very much trying to achieve, even with all the things I have achieved. I really feel like you need to save yourself before you can save anyone else.
Yes.
If you are constantly pouring into others from an empty cup, it's not sustainable, and there is not a lot of help you can give people that way. And I have seen that with the little bit I have been fortunate enough to get in my cup, as I've been pouring it back into other people, that it has done good. And hopefully, as my trajectory continues, you know, God willing, that the radius of those cups I get to pour into just continue to expand.
Dang. A lot of nugs on this one, man. Tyler, tell the people where they can find you, man.
You guys can find me on everything at JBoogz Creative. That's JBOOGX Creative. And yeah, find me on Instagram, YouTube. I have a Patreon. If you want to learn how to use the AI tools, I upload 2 deep dive tutorials every month. I offer one-on-one consultations as well as group consultations, and I'm available for all freelance work, only if you know what you actually want.
Right on, bro. That was sick, dude. Nice to meet you, cuz.
Boom. Ooh, you came in with the tough questions at the end.
Thank you so much for watching this interview. If anything in this video made you feel something, please share this video with someone you think would feel the same way. This channel is a product of 2 brothers born and raised in Hawaii, using our skills, our story, and our growing network to unleash our creativity. For us, being creative isn't optional. It's a duty. We've got some incredible interviews and creative projects coming up, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. Hope to see you in the next one.